Ain't nothing better than watching you smile. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ain't nothing better.
Hi guys, this is Lady Phoenix, and I'm going to be talking to you today about, I guess you can call it, denial. And I'm talking about special education and parents. So I don't mean to offend anybody or, step on anybody's toes or whatnot, but I am just amazed at still how many parents out there. I'm not saying all parents, but a lot of parents are out there with special education kids that could benefit from some special education, and they are just in so much denial. And their kids may be having problems like maybe they're taking too long to do their homework, um, maybe they don't want to do it. Um, then they question and they say, well, he's not able to do his homework, but how come he can play for hours on end playing video games? Um, so that is a very common question that a lot of parents that are tend to be in denial will ask. And take it from me, I was a parent in denial for a very long time, like the very first year or so. Um, I could say even my husband is still somewhat in denial. I mean, he's learned to accept it and reality and things, but having a couple of kids with special needs, it's very overwhelming to begin with because the amount of information that you will have thrown at you is enormous. But that's only the beginning. Then you have to decipher all that information, you have to understand it, and it's not easy. So take it from someone who spent at least 2 years to 2 years and a half of actually literally sitting my butt down all day from morning to night, just studying, researching on everything and anything that had to do with my child's diagnosis of autism, most specifically Asperger's syndrome. So, which is AKA, you can call it high functioning autism. And I'm not going to get into the definitions of it because if you're watching this video, you probably already know what those things are. But I'll probably make another video for the people that don't. But some parents complain. My kid can't do his homework. Maybe they're aggressive in school. Maybe they're aggressive at home. They might say, he hits his brother, his sister all the time. If he gets mad, he'll punch whoever's next to him, or if the teacher tries to increase the demand on them, maybe they're refusing to do it. Maybe they're walking out of class, maybe they're talking back to the teacher, maybe even swearing to the teacher. And the parents, try to talk to them, and you get responses like, well, he just has to do it. He just has to do what he's told. He knows better than that. He knows what he's doing. He just doesn't want to do it. Other excuses that parents will give that are in denial are, the video game thing. If you suggest so much as suggest that there is a problem with the child, they will say, oh no, there's nothing wrong with him. There's nothing wrong with my child. The problem is that they just don't want to do what they're told. And once they figure that out, then, they'll be fine. And so, months go by, maybe even years, and hopefully not years, because that's pretty sad that a child is not getting what they need because the parent has their head so far up there, that they don't want to face the facts, they don't want to face the truth. And I'm sorry if I'm harsh on some of you, but you really have to wake up and realize that in order to help your child, you're not doing them any favors by being in denial. So, come up for air and read up on some of the things and some of the literature, if you've been given a diagnosis for your child, or if you have just simply been told by a teacher or any other service providers or expert, that your child might need to be tested for something. Please follow up on it, guys. Please follow up, parents, because it is so sad to see how many kids go without any help, and they progressively get worse because the parents were in so much denial that they didn't want to take the time or the effort to have their child assessed. And that may not be the case in all the kids, of course, and all the parents. Um, and I'm not trying to talk down to the parents or anything like that or be disrespectful in any way. It's just reality and my experience of what I've seen with other parents. And, I feel for those kids and I really want them to get the help that they need. So, you know, um, oh, I ask this of you. So, what if my child has a diagnosis? Think about that. You know, um, so I know what I thought in the beginning. When my spouse thought, they would say things like, we would say things like, well, we don't want to label our child, or maybe they're evaluating and it's kind of early to assess whether it's that diagnosis or not. Or even some doctors are in denial, I got to tell you. And thank God that's changing a little bit now. But yeah, even the doctors will take the wait and see approach. And that means they'll tell the parent, the parent says, well, doc, I think there's something wrong with my child. He's very hyper, never sits still, whatever. And the doctor will just kind of shoo you away and they'll just say, oh, well, let's just wait and see. He's still at that age where some of these things are normal for him or her. But I encourage you, if you're a parent and you have in your gut feeling in your heart and you know that there is something that might be wrong with your child, or not necessarily wrong, but that they might need help in a special area or a certain area, please, I really beg of you to have your child assessed, even if for no reason at all, just for the hell of it. Have them assessed. At least you'll have a baseline as to where your child's at. You'll have a baseline as to, you know, how is my child doing in the academic portion of this test? How are they doing psychologically? And I know a lot of you parents that I've known, um, this may not be the case for all again, but some parents, unfortunately, they have things to hide and they're really scared of what a psychoeducational or psychologist or a counselor will find out from the home. Now, granted, there is some things that are found out through these evaluations, but trust me, they don't go digging that deep. So don't be scared, because maybe there might have been some kind of family crisis or whatnot that the child may go into. They don't go in that deep, guys. They're not clinical psychologists. They are only psychoeducational, which means they're going to look into how his brain is functioning, how his neurodevelopment is functioning, and how their thinking process is, how they're able to attend to tasks at school and class. So everything is basically related to school and what they do at school. They might ask some things about home, but it's general questions, things like, you know, um, what do you do with your brother or your parents, things like that. So it's very minor, but like I said, might have been some cases that there might be severe abuse, and they might discover that in those evaluations. But this is just my personal opinion as to what I would do again if I was a parent. I would not shy away from taking my child to be diagnosed, and I wouldn't shy away from accepting a diagnosis, because who cares what the diagnosis is as long as your child gets the help. That's my point of view anyway. So, some parents also might say, well, we tried this and it's not working. We tried taking video games away for a month, or we tried to take, I even know of a parent who broke their child system, literally took a hammer or something and slammed the Xbox or something. But I don't recommend you do that. But Yeah, so that's what they did. And there's another parent who I tried telling them, well, take away their video games and, some other tips that I gave them that worked for my kids, but they said it wasn't working. And I said, well, so what did you do? And they said, well, I put him out with no video games for the whole week. Yet I happened to stop by during that week and come to find out this child was playing video games and the week wasn't even up. So, consistency plays a big part of it, in with children. And I really didn't understand that when I was younger, when I was a first time mom. And so now I totally get it. So, yeah, so anyway, so that is my take on denial from some parents. And if nothing else, just have your child evaluated and see where that goes. And just don't be so quick to be afraid, or what other people are going to think. You don't have to tell anybody nothing about this, because if your child really does have a legitimate problem, trust me, they're going to find out whether you have them assessed or not, whether they have a diagnosis or not. So anyway, thanks for watching. This is Lady Phoenix, and I will um, look forward to any questions, concerns, or comments, and anything you want to share with me as well, because I'm by no means an expert. So I'm just sharing my experiences, and I also learn, and we all learn from each other. So thank you for watching, and have a blessed day. This is Lady Phoenix.